out there? This is Matt Man with another update with my chemotherapy. Today I'm going to talk about my chemotherapy side effects as well as some update with my biopsy results and staging for me. Today is my first chemotherapy session, day 8, which is essentially 7 days after my first chemotherapy session. So as far as side effects, what have I felt and how did it kind of progress throughout the week? For day 1, the day I got the chemotherapy, it was fine, like I talked in my last video. I felt fine. The steroids were kicking in. I had a big appetite. I wanted to eat, and everything was good. No nausea, no really side effects at all. I did not have insomnia that night, which was they said to expect, which was nice. I was able to sleep, no problem. I didn't have night sweats, but that's just part of the lymphoma. The night sweats are going to continue to happen. Day 2 and day 3 were basically similar in the way that my side effects were affecting me. The morning of day 2 I felt good. I think the steroids are still working, but about midday they started to wear off for sure. The side effects that I did experience were nausea. It was basically anywhere from like down to my stomach up to about my throat. I didn't have any active vomiting, which was nice, but you know the medicine kind of held it at bay. I did take that Zofran on the regimen I was supposed to for those first 4 days. I had a few days where I had to take Compazine as well, just to kind of really make sure I wasn't going to throw up. But yeah, anyway, so that nausea for days 2 and day 3 were like a thing, basically nonstop, which kind of killed my appetite. I basically didn't want to eat, which caused me to lose some weight this week. As of right now, I'm down about 10 to 15 pounds, which for me as a thin dude, I didn't think it was possible. So this week I'll try to concentrate on gaining weight as much as I can in order to try to get that weight back. Also on days 2 and 3, I had hiccups pretty much all day. It was pretty painful, especially with the heart surgery about a week and a half earlier. Still kind of in the chest, that pain was still there with each hiccup. So that was very annoying. On day 2, I also had my new Neulasta shot to increase my white blood cell count. They said to expect some pain around your hips where most of your white blood cells are created. And I didn't have any pain for the first 2 or 3 days, but then it started kicking in about 3 or 4 days afterwards. And I still have a little bit of dull pain in my hips from the new Neulasta shot. I also got some hydration on day 2, which was nice. And then I went for a run for my first run in a while at the gym. I'll talk about my workouts here in a little bit though. Days 4 and 5, I also had the same symptoms as far as nausea and fatigue and just feeling tired, but it really just came in waves. It was a little bit not as intense as days 2 and 3. So I could kind of feel the effects of chemotherapy starting to wear off at that point. But still, intense nausea, that lack of appetite, I didn't want to eat much. I would drink high-fat or high-protein shakes or anything I could eat quickly to do that. I tried to stay away all week from refined sugars and carbs for the most part to try to eat as healthy as possible all week and trying to eat as fresh fruits and vegetables as many as I could stand all week. I had planned on getting some hydration on day 5. With another bag of fluid through my port, but I was just not feeling well at the time I was planning on going, just really tired and just nauseous, so I decided to sleep. Talking to some other cancer survivors, they highly recommended anytime you're tired just to sleep and to let your body work through whatever it's doing. Day 6 and 7, my hiccups were finally gone, which was awesome. Still had kind of that nausea coming in waves as well as being tired, but again, that just kind of came in waves and was definitely each day after chemotherapy got a little bit better, which was nice with all of that. That's also when I felt the new Neulasta shots kind of kick in and the soreness from there. But again, it was like a dull pain, nothing unbearable. I was able to go for a jog around my neighborhood for about a mile and a half, and it was fine. Day 8 today, how am I feeling? I woke up with feeling a lot better, and I was able to do a lot of normal things today. Still have that slight nausea, but definitely going away with that. Starting about day 6 or 7, I did start to understand the difference between like nausea in my throat and in my stomach, and this feeling of, I don't know how to describe it. It's a feeling I've not ever felt before in my life. I describe it as kind of like a death or poison in my chest. It's just weird. It's like a kind of a burning, slight burning sensation. Hopefully it's the killing of the cancer and not the growth of the cancer in my body. But that's just kind of a weird feeling that I felt separate from nausea. The first 4 or 5 days I thought it was the nausea itself, but as the nausea starts to wane, I can kind of feel that kind of just poison in my body. It's a strange feeling, but hopefully it means everything's working. Like I said, the big win for this first round of chemotherapy, no GI issues thus far, no hair loss, no mouth sores, no neuropathy, none of like the scarier things that I expected, and I've been able to sleep well. I've had the night sweats, which is to be expected with the lymphoma. Cool, so that's basically the side effects that I've had from the chemotherapy, which was nice. Nothing too crazy. I was able to manage it with medicine and really just kind of sleeping through it. About 4 or 5 days of really just crappy days. but nothing where, I mean, I've had worse weeks than I just had. I say that knowing it's going to get worse as I go through more chemotherapy sessions. I think the hardest thing looking ahead is going to be that psychological kind of barrier that I need to go through of now that I'm going to feel good this whole week, and next week I need to start another chemotherapy session, and just knowing that I'm going to do another week of kind of just feeling crappy, and it's going to get worse and worse, and those other symptoms are probably going to start to creep up. So I think that's the biggest psychological thing I need to really just get over now. Awesome. As far as cleanup and kind of results from what I've gotten recently, apparently it's referred to as Hodgkin lymphoma now. No, it's not Hodgkin's lymphoma. They got rid of all the possessive adjectives or identifiers in the medical community apparently. So Hodgkin lymphoma is what I have. And as far as my biopsy results from the pericardial fluid and the pericardium around my heart and the bone marrow, they all came back negative. So that's awesome. So as of right now, I am stage 2BX, talking to my oncologist. X meaning that I have an enlarged growth because of that large tumor that's along my spine. So they're going to treat me as if I'm stage 4, but I'm technically stage 2BX, just whatever. Essentially, I'm being treated as stage 4 though. The X is really the concern and the fact that I might need to get radiation that we've talked about already, but we'll assess after those 2 months and kind of see where we stand with that. As far as the future this week, tomorrow I finally get the stitches out for my heart surgery, so there's a big win. Hopefully feel a little bit more like a human. As far as working out, I want to try to work out at least 3 to 4 times a week at a minimum. My concern is my port. I need to talk to my heart surgeon tomorrow to see what he says about the port. I've heard some different things reading online that you're not supposed to work out your chest. So as far as having that thing flip is a potential if I'm working out. Most workouts above my head or pushing my arms forward, which are, like 90% of the workouts in the gym. So I want to talk to my heart surgeon to see what he says as far as what I'm able to do in the gym. I just did light workouts today. I did do like chest flies at the gym, and no issues today. But again, I want to just confirm with him what I'm allowed to do, so I don't need to get another surgery to fix something that I jack up in my chest. That's all I have for you for now. My next video I'm planning on talking about, if I have time this week, is going to be diet. I've had a lot of people reach out to me with different things and different trends and links and various cancer cures, if you will, for things I should do or should not do with my diet. And I'll kind of talk through some studies that I found or that I didn't find to try to justify what I'm planning on doing with my diet in the future. So until next time, see you.